Good day all, my name is Hugo from eCat Online and we are a web development company based in Pretoria, South Africa. We mainly specialize in search engine optimization, e-commerce solution, Google AdWords and Google Shopping, and we really believed that we are the best at it. Today, to continue from my last video, I'm going to talk about search engine optimization and specifically about the loading speed of your website and the importance of it. I believe that the loading speed is probably the second most important factor in terms of search engine optimization after the website content and write-up. So I'm going to show two tools that we're using to evaluate the speed of a website. The first one, let me just go to our website. The first one is a tool incorporated into the Google Chrome web browser. If you just press Ctrl+Shift+I, you will have this window popping up, and this is where you can create a report. You can select the different option. I always select mobile because 70% of our user are accessing our website through a mobile device. So I select this option, and this is the one that give the best performance or the best result. So I'll just click on generate report, and I will be waiting for the report or the performance speed report. It may take anything between, depending on the speed of your internet, it can take anything between 2 to 5 seconds. Okay, so this is the speed for our website. 80%. I only look at the performance for the speed. The rest is not so relevant for today, and I believe that the Lighthouse software doesn't really give full information on the three last section. But in terms of performance, we get 87 point or percentage for the loading speed, which is very good. I believe everything above 60 is okay, but above 80 is excellent. So our website is doing quite well in terms of loading speed, which we're very proud of. Now let's look at another website, Willard Battery. It's a client that we would like to get, or a possible client, and we're in discussion with them. Let's just generate the report for this website, and let's see what we will come up with. So again, the generation of the report can take anything between 2 to 5 seconds. Let's just wait for the result of the report, and let's just see what we will get in terms of loading speed. Okay, we are still waiting. It's a bit longer this time, maybe because the website is a bit slower, but I think we're coming at it. We got an error here. I'm not so sure why, but here we're getting 32 in terms of loading speed, which is very poor. I will say anything below 50 or even 60. Well, below 50 is extremely poor, but 30 is very poor. So obviously the website is penalized by Google because Google give a lot of importance in terms of user experience. So if the first time loading speed is very slow, then the user tend to go to another website. So now let's just analyze a bit deeper why the website loading speed is so slow. I go to this website, webpagetest.org, to give me a bit more detail on the loading speed of the website. So here again we're having first byte time, a very poor score, which is F. Normally we're looking at A or B, but what is nice with this system is that we get a lot of detail as to why the loading speed is so slow. So let me just go to the details. So here it's everything that is loaded on the first time. So you've got a lot of resources loading. So the best way will be to have the less resources to be loaded. Here you can see, let's look at this one, is a TTF. That's probably for the font. So every time that the website connect to the server to load a resource, it takes quite a lot of time. So what is happening, everything is sequential. So we connect, the website connect to the server, load one resource, another resource. A lot of them are sequential, but a lot of them are done in parallel. And you can see all these little resources. CSS, plenty of CSS, takes a lot of time. So preferably it's better to have as less CSS as possible, a file. And on our side, we only use one CSS. And we optimize the CSS on top of it. So we try to minimize it when we finalize a website. So on our side, we only have one CSS, which speed up quite a lot the loading time. JavaScript, there's a lot of JavaScript here. So again, on our side, we try to minimize the number of JavaScript and the size of the JavaScript. Here we can look at the size of some of them, 33K. Okay, that's quite fine. But there's so many JavaScript that needs to be loaded before the user can even do anything on the website. Here they have a lot of fonts. We try to avoid any special fonts because again it increased the loading time. JavaScript, GIF file. Okay, analytic, that's quite standard, but JPEG. Let's have a look at the size of the JPEG. Okay, 4.2. It's a very small file. If you've got a lot of small file, it's better to use CSS sprites and just load one file and combine all your images into one image. So please look at CSS sprites. If you have a lot of small images, it's going to increase the loading speed. So again, there's a lot of files that have been loaded, and that definitely decrease the loading speed. If we do the same test for ECAT, just to give you an example of ideally how your website should be, let's have a look at our website. That's SEO.za, and you start the test, and let's just see what will be the result. But there's a lot of tips or tricks to load to increase the speed, the loading speed of your website. As I said, please try only to use one CSS file. Don't try to use multiple CSS files, because every time that the web does a connection to the server, it take quite a lot of time. Images, try to optimize your images. Don't use any images that are used on your website should be below 200 kilobyte, or preferably around 100 kilobyte. If you have a lot of small images, please try to use CSS sprite. Same thing for JavaScript. Try to use as less JavaScript as possible. Use 1, 2, 3, or 4 JavaScript file preferably. So let's have a look at ECAT Online loading speed. Okay, as you can see, there's very few files, and this is why we're getting such a good score with the Lighthouse system. You can see the number of files. We've got only three CSS. We've got one JavaScript. Okay, here we've got a font. I'm not so sure. Oh yeah, this is the font awesome that we're using. We've got one JPEG, 2, 3, 4, 5 JPEG. Very few file. I think here we're using the CSS sprite, and if you look at the size of the image, 200K is quite reasonable. And then we've got our main JavaScript, our main library. So you can see here all the resources that have been uploaded. It's below 20, which is really good compared to a website like this. So this is it for today. Please remember to subscribe to our channel and like this video if you would like to get advice when we're going to upload a new video on our channel, and get more information and more tips and tricks about search engine optimization. Thank you very much for your time, and hope to see you again.